Okay. All right. Well, thanks you guys for jumping on. I appreciate this time that we have each week, and I learn from you guys so much. So thank you for it's really just communicating and connecting and engaging in particular topics of conversation. So, um, yeah, to kind of wrap up last week, though, I'm just curious if it was helpful to consider. Last week we were talking about, how do we invite to the team? Some ways of looking at that. I think, Pam, were you on last time? You were, weren't you?
I I think so. Time's going by so fast. I think I was on last week. Yes, I'm pretty sure I was.
But did you find it to be helpful? I want to make sure that what we're talking about is helpful. So any thoughts about that?
I'll go if nobody else has anything to jump in with real quick.
Yeah.
I will be honest and say I've really struggled with, like in the presentations, doing the business part along with we want to help your health. But I stepped into, with these coffee talks that I'm doing every week, I do the whole thing as is. It's like, okay, I'm going to trust the system. They put this presentation together for us with these slides. So I'm just going to throw it out there and do it what they're recommending. And what I found is by doing that, it's given me the confidence to know what our business is and the opportunities it presents and to be able to talk about it a little more fluently versus saying, oh, I'm not trying to get you to do it. It's like, no, this is an incredible opportunity that I'd love to share in case you'd like to join it, because I see the vision, I see the possibilities for you, and just want to make sure you have the opportunity of saying yes.
Right. And so we present the material. If this is for you or not, you have an option. So yeah. So, and it is trusting that this is working for people.
And it's really,
yeah.
And it's really, I think, a real big mind shift, because my Teamsy partner and I were talking about this after the conference where they shared their presentation. One of Jennifer Saval, however you say her name, shared. And so she and I were talking about, okay, this is working great for them. Can we see us doing it this way? And if not, how do we do it differently, but still have that excitement, still share the business opportunity without it being a sales pitch?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get that program.
Yeah. The Teamsy.
For the Teamsy program, or?
No, what you were talking about from the company.
Okay, if you go to, let's see, I just sent this to somebody today. If you go to your virtual office, hang on just a sec, because I'll take you step by step. Or actually, I'll type it up. How about I type it into the chat so then you all can see exactly where to go. That might make it easier.
Right, thanks, Pam.
Sure.
Whenever I'm talking about the business with anybody, I always ask if they know someone who enjoys helping people and could use another income stream, get us together to talk. I don't push anything. I don't mention anything. I just drop a little seed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you, Pam, for putting that there.
Well, it's not there yet. I didn't realize if when I push return that it would send it.
Oh, it's on its way. Yeah. How about you? Katie? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just thought from last week when we were talking about like traits of people, that you are like, what types of things are you looking for in people to join your team, and there were ones that I thought about, but there are ones people brought up that I hadn't really thought about, like busy. I think you brought that up. And someone that is busy usually is very scheduled and very deliberate, and can probably add another thing to their plate because they're well organized. So I thought, oh, that's really interesting. I've actually been thinking about that.
Yeah.
So I was glad that we brainstormed those, because there were a few that I added that I had not considered.
Yes, that was helpful. That was definitely helpful. And maybe we could get that list out to the team. I think that would be, the greater team hearing, what is the type of person that we might be looking for to join the team in this mission. But Yeah, I find that busy people tend to do well with this, if they really believe in it. You know, I think that's the why has to be strong and that kind of thing. So, um, well, good. Anything else about last week's conversation?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it was definitely useful because I think that, you know, like hopping back into the business and seeing kind of what my team did before. I mean, I do it, and it's not that I'm not going to share the business with everybody, because I've always made it part of like the presentations that I've done and stuff, but it really is trying to figure out what traits work in the business and what traits don't, you know. And you know, for me, I brought on of maybe three or four team members that really didn't do anything with the business.
Mhm.
And you know, so for me now it's kind of like looking at people, and then two, having those organic conversations up front with people, which I've been doing a lot of. Like anytime I see someone post about, like, you know, like them being sick or health or wellness or something like that, you know, a lot of times like I'll post on their feed, or like I'll privately message them and then just have these general conversations. And every single person usually brings up something with finances or something like that. But I've been, a lot of like the wellnessy people who already get it are usually the people that I've been having more of like the business conversations with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, you want to just see, you want to know what to recognize in people. Like sometimes people just need to get started on the product and you just have that sense about it. You know, you just feel like they just are excited to get this in their body, but they need an experience, and that's okay too. I just feel like we're just looking for opportunity, because the more people we do have that join, the more people we're going to impact and the more influence we have on the world for better health. And that is such a crucial thing right now. People are looking, they want answers, and they're a lot of people are looking for something to do too. You know, I know a lot of us are busy, but a lot of people are also looking for something to do right now.
And I think too, like when they join the business and they really don't have that vision yet, I think it can almost be detrimental, because then they really don't know what to do with it, which, you know, with some people, I think they get it right from the first, first presentation. But I do think other people, like they need to really get excited about the product and see maybe like how their body is changing. And then it's like, it makes them excited. And at that point, it's like feeding into that excitement, because I do think that some people need to have that before they're able to hop on board into the business.
Yes, that's a good point too, Gabby. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was totally like that. So that makes a lot of sense. Needed to have an experience first.
Yeah, you were, Katie. And then when you decided you wanted to do it, I felt like it was kind of a growing thing too. Like, oh, you know, I just met the team and this is interesting. I get to be a part, and you could almost see it happening. And then it just seemed as though in your moments of time, and maybe you can describe that a little bit, you just found the time because you knew it really mattered. Is that how you would describe it, that kind of gradually grew?
Oh yeah. I had no goals at the beginning other than to try to help pay for, you know, what we were ordering. And I think I told Wendy I didn't want to lose money. Like that's what I told her my goal was. That's ridiculous. But anyway, that's how I am. And, but just as we went along, I just love doing it and love sharing with people, and love walking alongside people. And it just has kind of grown. So wanting to get to Partner Plus or whatever it used to be called turned into a lot more.
Yes. And it's so fun to watch. I mean, we're all that way. It took me a long time. I just was more of a gradual movement for me. But I believed in it. So I just kept telling everybody about it. So that's how it kind of grew. And then, but the business side and going after goals took me a little while to want that. So yeah, well, let's move forward. I really feel like something that's so crucial in what we do is really having consistency in what we do, whether it's 20 minutes a day or, you know, an hour that we are able to put in a day, or whatever it is for you. I know for me, obviously, this is more of a full-time job, so it's many hours for me a day. So, but I can have it be whatever I want it to be. I just need to know that when I sit down to do my job, when I sit down to make calls or whatever it might be, I have a plan and I know what I'm going to do. I think what happens to a lot of people is when they sit down, they don't know what to do and they kind of freeze. So they'll just go do something else. Or, it's just, it can be a real challenge. So that's where I would like to spend some time today talking about that. We call our daily method of operation a DMO, is also often heard, or you'll hear it said, daily method of opportunity. Because if we sit down and we look at our method of how we operate as an opportunity to make a difference in the world, to me, it has a far greater excitement behind it. So it's how we operate, but we operate moving towards opportunity. And you guys, when we haphazardly do the business, and I've kind of come and gone in this, so, we're going to kind of see that our business looks that way. We kind of haphazardly have a business. So, but when we intentionally focus on the business, I feel like we have greater success, because we are focused on more of we call them high payoff activities, but it's more, who are we engaging with? Like, what does my time look like when I do sit down and I'm connecting with people? And so we want to do the things that count. And I've heard it said, don't count the things you do, but do the things that count. And what counts is that we're connecting with people. We're sharing about the power of fruits and vegetables. We're sharing about what impacts health and life and will lead to a more abundant life for people. So we always start out, just saying, yes, we want our why to be there. We want a bold vision about, where we're going, and for everybody that's different. It might just be that next Partner Plus is the next goal. With kind of maybe a long-term vision of, yes, someday I'd love to be a national marketing director. Maybe it is when the kids are grown up. That's my hope, is I would like to reach that position. So we might have a short term, but then we also want that long term. And then with that comes the bold action of when we're sitting down to do what we're going to do with our job, with our work. It fuels our power hour. And I like to call them a power hour, because when I sit down to do, like, make phone calls and focus on customer care, or reach out and follow up with prospects about an event or something, I want my phone in the other room if I'm not going to be on it. I want no distractions. I have to just really get centered, and that's going to be my hour. And then I feel so freed up. Like, what I can do and Pam's going to talk a little bit. I asked her if she'd share about Teamsy. What I can do in Teamsy in an hour is so much engagement and connection with people. And I feel so good after I've done that hour. I feel great after I've done that hour. So I feel much more freed up to, okay, I think I'll post on the customer page. And I have other things that I do, but I feel good because I've had that connection and engagement time with people and following up. So I'm just going to open it up. I know that, Thomas, you had some things you wanted to share too. He just read just an incredible book about consistency. And, I feel like consistency in a DMO is what we're talking about here. So consistency, why don't we have you share, Thomas, a bit about that, and then we'll also talk about what that DMO can look like with Teamsy and other ways of doing things.
Okay, let me start with how all this started. Last month, if any of you have ever heard of the online business coach, Gloria McDonald, she invited me to a webinar. And on the webinar with her were Jim Packard and George Campbell, authors of the book, The Consistency Change for Network Marketing. Now, the premise of the book is, in any endeavor, 20% of the people are wired for success and they bring in 80% of the results, while the other 80% who are not wired bring in the other 20%. Now, the biggest difference between the two groups is consistency. And what they suggest in the book, and I mean, it's a little over 100 pages, so it's an easy read. What they say you should do is start with one day doing one thing to accomplish for your what you want to do. let's say it's you build a business, okay? Decide one thing, what you want to do. Maybe it's make one phone call, one contact, email, or whatever with one person, or read something promotional that will help you with your business, or a motivational video, just one thing. That's day one. On your calendar, put an X on the day, and there's an app for it also. You can put an X in the app. Day two, you rinse and repeat. You do exactly what you did yesterday. On day two, you put another X on the calendar and on the app, and all of a sudden, you have a chain. Day three, you do it again, and the premise is just get to day three, win day three. And no matter how long your chain is, win day three. Some people's chains are over a year. So you just keep doing it, and eventually what you'll do is this consistency will become motivation, and from motivation it will become momentum, so you keep on going and going and going, almost as an afterthought, without even having to think about it.
Yeah, that's
it.
awesome. So then you go, you're always wanting to achieve day three, but then you start with some additional things that you're adding to that. Is that right? And then that chain starts.
Well, down the road, they don't want you to start too soon. You just do one thing every day in the chain, and then eventually something else will add to it almost automatically. And this here is the book right here.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody wants it, they can. And before the webinar was even over with, I had it ordered on Amazon because Barnes and Noble didn't have it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's awesome.
that was a no-brainer, because George was explaining to whoever was on the webinar the way he was, and I'm listening and I'm thinking, that's me. He's talking about me. So I knew right then and there that I was an 80%er. So that's why I hopped on the consistency chain right away, because I knew it would help. I felt it would help.
So the 20% who tend to be consistent and the 80% don't, but you can
Correct.
change from 80% to become a 20%er is what this is about.
Well, possibly. Not everybody will, but everybody's different, and every endeavor is different. I mean, you may be a 20%er at one thing, but an 80%er at something else.
Mm.
Like I'm an 80%er with whatever I'm an 80%er for, and somewhere in my life I'm a 20%er in something, and nobody, not even I, know about it. So
Okay, gotcha.
whether you end up as a 20%er, that's up to the individual person.
Mm.
And I'm on today is day 29 of my chain.
Awesome. What are you seeing? What are your results?
Well, I'm getting making a lot of contacts with everybody, whether it's individual calls, emails. I just got off a networking meeting a half an hour ago that had 34 people in it. And I jumped in, and I was the first one to give my 45-second or 60-minute commercial. And I just jotted down names, and I got a list of 10 names of contacts that I'm going to be making as soon as I can.
Awesome. That's so exciting, Thomas. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's become a lot of fun for me too.
Yeah. Well, Thomas and I were talking the other day, and that book, I would like to read it, have it coming. And then The Compound Effect is just an incredible book that just, we compound what we regularly do. So it's just, that's where it talks about the power hour. That's where it talks about creating big mo, so big momentum, just by, just smaller blocks of time. I think sometimes we think we need to dedicate so much time, but it's the time that we spend really intentionally that makes a difference. So,
and it's Darren Hardy's BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal, and not everybody can do that.
Yeah, right. To set a goal, but also a BHAG goal. Yeah, love that. Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing, Thomas. And Pam, if you don't mind talking to us about TeamZ, I just feel like it is an exceptional program.
Sure. Has everyone does everybody know what Team Z is? Does anyone not know what it is? Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Team Z is CRM program, or a way to manage your custom. Oh my goodness, my mind just went blank. Anyway, it's a way to do daily work with your customers, your prospects, your partners, and then have follow-ups. So they've devised this whole program where you start out, you can have 30 days for free. On the left side over here, you have a dashboard, your team report, business, help center, but they also give you a university where, and I'm just going to show you this because a lot of people don't realize this. And they have actually, if you click on any of these, how to dream big and set goals that you can actually achieve. You're uncovering your why, relationship marketing secret for success. They give business builder training, master your time management, how to think like a business owner, conversations that convert, and transition a conversation like a pro. So all of those are free when you, those first 30 days, you can watch all of those. And then after that, then of course they're there. They've also, and I'll just do this while we're here, offer a boot camp. And in this, it's a 12-week training program where you have a video each week. They give you a workbook to go with. They give you action steps for each week. And so, and then you have a Facebook page where they don't partner you, you read through them and you find a partner, whether it's in Juice Plus or something else, and then y'all work together. I happen to get a partner who lives in Houston, about 3.5 hours from me. And we've developed not just a partnership for doing presentations, but we've developed a friendship, which has been pretty cool. Now, going back to the Team Z, each day, you set your activities. You know, how many people do you want to reach in a day? And like, my day to actually do this is starting after we do our call. So you see 0 for who I reached out to today. So I've set it so I reach out to 5 prospects, 2 customers, 2 partners. I want to share a product or business with somebody, and I need to move this. And then I run into people. I want to add 3 people a day if I possibly can. And then, have I made my social post? Yes, I have. Have I done personal development? Yes, I have. Have I used my products? Yes, I have. Have I exercised? Oops, not yet. So then I come down here and they give you 5 people, or for me, since I chose 5, they're going to be 5 people there. They do that instead so you don't get overwhelmed. So I would say, okay, Shalina, I need to, I want to talk to her. So I come over here, I'll select my activity as in how am I going to reach out to her? So I'll say Facebook message. And then I can come here to scripts and it knows, okay, I'm going to do Facebook. So here's a whole bunch of different messages, either for prospects or since she is a prospect. If I said customer, it's a different set of verbiage. If I said whatever they have for rep, that's another. But anyway, they give you verbiage, so you don't have to sit there and think, what am I going to say to this person? You can literally say this, copy it and paste it into your Facebook Messenger, send it, boom, you're done. And the whole point with this program is, it's about building relationships. It's not always about, hey, I've got something to share. It's about, how you doing? And building that. And there are times where it's like maybe somebody I don't know very well that I'm like, hey, I looked on your Facebook and I saw that you're having this issue. Don't know if you'd be interested, but here's what I do. But it's a simple way of tracking. So then the next day I finish those 5 and it gives me 5 customers. And then it goes to partners. Okay, I've got 2 partners to reach out. And then here are my follow-ups, because I also set follow-ups when I talk to somebody. And it can be follow-up on a certain date, or tomorrow, 2 days, 4 days. So you can see that here. So basically what they've done is, for those of us who love structure, here's easy structure. For those of us who desperately want structure but are not structured people, this gives us structure without it being overwhelming. And it's very, very doable. And what I've really enjoyed when I sit back and look at, I did the 30-day. I honestly did not take advantage of it the way I should. But then I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. So I decided to pay for it. And when I did it, wow, it was really awesome. So what that showed me was, if I have structure, if I do this, then I see results. And then when I get off track and I don't do it, I don't see the results. And the point in this thing is, why is it a power hour? It's because you want to get as much done in 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day, whatever you're going to set it, but you don't want to be working 24/7. As Eric says, the whole reason you're doing a home-based business is so you have a life. You have time with your family. So this sets up a very doable system so that you're not always working, which is so easy to do. So Wendy, is there anything else in here you want me to kind of touch on?
How about the price? Is it $19.99?
Oh, yeah, because I pay annually, so I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Juice Plus, normally it's $29.99 a month, but for Juice Plus reps, it is $19.99 a month. And if you pay for it a year at a time, it's a little bit less than that too.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, $20, if it's going to mean I'm going to do business in a very structured way and see results, that $20 is going to come back to me very quickly. Yeah. In orders or new reps. So it's one of those, we only pay $52 a year to have an entire franchise. And then to pay $20 for something that's going to manage who I reach out to. And I'm honestly one of those sticky note person, and whatever envelope is handy, I write on it. Jay's like, do you need this one? Can I throw it away? There's a name on it with a number. Do you even know what this is for? And so this has really helped me, because I have it on my phone. And what I've realized is I actually do a whole lot more business than I think I do. And by doing the boot camp, it's helped me get into the practice of, oh, I just talked to so-and-so. Let's enter it into Teamsy. And then, oh, I need to check with them. Enter it into Teamsy, and then it pops up the next day. So that to me has been very helpful, very doable. I've been doing this a long time. I've tried the calendars. I've tried printing out the DMO. Wendy can tell you, I've tried about everything. And for whatever reason, this has really spoken to me. So each of us is different, but for those of you who are looking for a simple way to stay connected with everybody, you enter in all your customers. You can enter in your Facebook contacts, your address book, so they're all right there. And then what I also do is, when I look on my virtual office and I see my customers, you know, who's coming up their orders, I go ahead and put those in here also. And you can actually, when your customer changes, your prospect changes to a customer, you can enter in what they bought. You can actually have graphs of how long it took to go from prospect to customer to rep to partner. You can see how much they spent, when they spent it. You can see, there was something really kind of important. So you can see the activities. You know, these are all the times I've reached out to this customer. I can do details. You know, if I want to put in their birthdays, I actually, because I know where he lives, I put what city it is, so that when I see an event happening in Cleveland, I can shoot him an invite, what product they're on, and then if I want to write any notes about them. So it's just really pretty cool.
I think overall, like at first glance, I remember it seemed very complicated. Did you feel like you got set up with it pretty quickly? Like they have a good, yeah.
Yeah, I did. And even since I started, it's even better now. They have incredible customer service where if you call and you see up here live training, you can do that. You can get a Teamsy overview. They'll show you how to do your power hour by giving you a demo and walk you through the whole thing, how to crush it. So, I mean, they've really, and the live training, you can schedule that. You can reach out to them. So, I mean, they've really, for what little we pay, it's an amazing amount of resource to help us succeed. And it's really just to help us succeed.
Well, thank you. Does anybody have any questions that you want to ask?
Yeah, I've had it for, about a year now, and I haven't had a chance to get in it. Is it, how do you get started, Pam?
Okay, so it's really kind of awesome in that, that's not here. I just clicked on the wrong thing. What I would start with is start with your free training. Okay, I've got too many things open. Come on, you can do it.
Is that free training infinite?
Yes, as long as you've got it, the free training is free. So this will, take you through the beginning steps. And I know that's not really what you're asking me. And Wendy, do you remember where you enter?
I feel like once you sign up for
Oh,
it.
here you go. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying to remember because I've had it for a long time. So I'm trying to remember
here's
how I had it.
You can do it. Here you go. When you do add contact, and this is for getting it set up, you can do it individually. You can change it, prospect, customer, partner, or you can do a bulk import. So that's where you can go and upload whatever it is, Facebook or something else. And if you're not sure how to do that, they also have videos to help you know which product and how to download it.
Oh, so it's all in the training.
Right. Or like right there, what I did for that was there's an add contacts button right here, because you can search all your names and emails. And what I didn't tell you is these numbers here, like a 5, 4, 3, 2. A 5 means this is a hot prospect and I want to talk to her regularly. A 3 would be maybe a customer you just want to check in on. And if you put 1, they're not going to come up. It's like, yeah, they're my contact, but I don't want to talk to them. Just seeing if y'all notice that. I don't have many ones.
Oh, like with B&I, 0 or 1 is cold and 5 is a hot.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Just remember this, if you do 1, it's not cold, 1 will not show up as a reminder to call. But right here, can you see my cursor? Okay, so this bulk import contacts, that's the first thing you click so you can upload your partners, customers, and reps. Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. And they've made that as easy as they can for you too. And there are videos for that, or you can just contact, over here in the help center.
Yeah,
I've been so impressed with it, really.
Okay, great.
So here you go. Basic, you got getting started. Here's what I was looking for. Import contacts, import Facebook, ranking and label, doing a power hour demo. And then, what are all these? Okay, I don't know how to, what is the back office? How do I do this? Well, here's your video and your directions on how to do it.
I think they're just short little video clips. I mean,
yeah,
make it keep it super simple. Yeah. So I feel like, for some people, they like to get going in the business. And then as they have more and more contacts and customers, it's, that's when they want like the organization of it. Some people like to get right out of the gates because there's a lot of prospects that you're putting in there and you want everything in one place. So yeah.
So see here, I mean, we can go, I want to import my Juice Plus customers. So I'll click on that and theoretically everything comes up and it tells me what to do. Looky there.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so easy. It really is.
So
Oh, great.
does that help?
Oh, yeah, big time. Thanks, Pam.
Sure. Yeah, I love it. I try to talk everybody I know into it because it's wonderful. And what I love too is Eric and Mike, they have such gentle spirits of just, we don't want you to alienate people. We want you to succeed and do it in a way that gives you time with your family.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've had it for a year, maybe more, and I just haven't had a chance to get in on it. Like I don't have anything else to do, right?
Sounds like a good goal. Good goal to have, Thomas.
Well, and you know what, we talk about the power hour. They'll tell you it's really tailored to you. If you can do 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day builds, it's like compound effect that Wendy talked about. 20 minutes a day will compound over time. And what you'll find is you can reach a whole lot of people in an hour because you're not having, it's so much quicker that you can just send this message and you got to trust it. Sometimes I tweak the message, sometimes I send it as is and take advantage of their scripts because it's a tried and proven system that works. So I don't have to keep reinventing everything. And Wendy knows that's my MO, is to try to reinvent.
I learned the hard way on that too, Pam. Yeah. And I'm also a Post-it person. I think, I'm always scribbling on something. So yeah, it's helpful. Yeah. Katie, did you have something?
Yeah, I don't have Teamsy. I eventually will because I'm starting to have like papers and lists that are getting a little out of control, but and sticky notes too, Pam. But I listened to, I think you said his name is Eric on our Juice Plus Home Edition. Yeah. And he's got really contagious energy. But I also really love how he just talks about that our goal is to just love people. And Teamsy, or however you want to do it, the main goal is to just reach out and contact people and be a good friend, check in. I think Pam said that too earlier. It's not all about contacting people because you have something you want to tell them about or sell them, but just check in because you care and you love them. So, or you want to establish a relationship with them. So I really like that. I don't know if anybody else heard that and it jumped out to them, but I really loved that part.
Well, I will tell you, one of the challenges he gave us in boot camp one week was, I want you to reach out to, I don't remember how many people, but he gave us a number and said, I want you to reach out to these people. I don't want you to say a word about your product or what you're doing. But he said, people have been isolated and they just want to know someone cares. So just send a message. Hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you.
Yeah.
And I did that to like 70 people one day. I just sat down and just started shooting messages. I had conversations going nonstop because people were so excited to have someone care enough to say, hey, how are you doing?
Well, it does. It grows your relationships. That's what I've found. It's just, if you don't have that intention, of course, if anything comes up about health or what are you doing, or you're going to share, but it's just helped. I feel like I have such stronger relationships because of it.
Yeah, and when I'm making connection phone calls, I get the same thing. Thank you for reaching out. It was nice talking to you and all this. And I don't bring up anything unless they ask.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one of the really big things, because have traditionally been the worst at follow-up, which I know I've lost a bazillion people because I didn't follow up in a timely manner. He said something one day that was like my big aha. He said, when you do not follow up with someone, you are telling them you don't care about them because you don't care enough to follow up. And he said, if you tell them you're going to call on a certain day and you don't, again, you're saying you're not important enough for me, for you to be a priority. And that really, that got me in the gut, is that like, I'm not loving on people well if I don't follow up and check on them.
Well, thank you, Pam. Thank you so much to you and Thomas. Are there other ways that consistently, like what else are you guys doing without TeamZ? You know, how are things working for you when you do sit down to work? What's working for you?
Well, I just have an old-fashioned paper list, and I keep adding to it, and then I'll get multiple lists, and then I consolidate them, and just kind of going back and looking at like, oh yeah, I did reach out to that person like however many months ago, and you know, they never kind of gave me like a yes or a no. It was kind of like, I'll think about it, and so I'll just kind of circle back and say, hey, you know, are you still interested? Can I send you some more information? You know, if they give me a concrete no, then, you know, it's like, oh, that's fine, you know. But yeah, so I've just been doing that kind of with my paper list, but just helps me remember who have I been talking to, or if I'm just doing stuff and I think, oh yeah, I probably should reach out to this person, whether it's to talk about Juice Plus or just to say hi. I'll just scribble their name down real quick. I always have a list on my desk, and I'll just scribble it down because I can never remember who it is I want to invite to things.
Yeah.
Or check in with, you know, you'll get an event going and then you're like, oh no, who was I going to invite? So I just always jot down names. So when there is something I want to invite to, then I have those people organized somewhere.
That's
so
good. That's good. There is a DMO sheet. I'm just going to show you really quickly, just in case you do want to use this. Lists, that's how I do it, Katie, too. I just have a notebook of a lot of lists, like an organizational notebook. But there's also, like within the notebook, you could have a DMO sheet. Just go under A to Z when you go to the freedomrevolution.com under A to Z, and you can just type in anything that you're looking for. And so just type in DMO, daily method of opportunity, and there's a DMO planning sheet. So I like this because it has you thinking about kind of like, if you're going to do a power hour, this is what it would be, and these are the things that would really make a difference. So reaching out to 2 people, and you've got your memory jogger going. It says first time or reconnecting with people, sharing your story. So it tells you what to do. Share your story, a video, or invite to an event. You can either call or do a message blitz. We just, those message blitzings are great. So if an event's coming up, you're going to just have your list of a few people you want to invite, or 10, 20 people, and you're just going to sit down, and it's pretty much the same message, a similar message that you're sending to everybody. I just personalize each one. So it tells you what to do here. You know, follow-ups, is this a good time to talk? What did you like best about the information I sent you? So there's some, you know, does Juice Plus make sense to you? And then with your customers, you know, just that reminder, we want to do good customer care. We want to add them to our Facebook customer page. We want to invite them if it's appropriate and it seems right to join the mission. And then send them education. We want to make sure we're doing really good customer care. 2 team members. I know some people, you know, not everybody has team yet, but I just feel like the team and what to do and next steps and staying, especially moving them to that sales coordinator position, you know, as they're moving into that QSC position, I feel like they're becoming more of a leader. They know more about what's going on, but you're still very closely with them. Once somebody reaches the sales coordinator, a lot of times they're off and moving more independently. So we just want to keep that in mind, and we're checking in with everybody. And what events are on the calendar, we can put them in here. And, you know, who are we inviting? We go back to our memory jogger list, and not everybody should be invited to every event. We're going to burn out people. We're going to be sending them way too much. But for a particular event that might be on a Tuesday night, who haven't I reached out to in a while? Who might a next exposure be good for? So just keep those kinds of things in mind. 3-way calls, whether it's prospects, customers, team, always a welcome call when a new team member comes on board. And then when somebody reaches a promotion like QSC, I love to connect with people again, and doing prospect calls. As a retired nurse, I love to just talk to people about health and overcoming maybe an issue that they have. So that's what the three-way call is for. Social media, are you posting? Are you commenting? We want to comment on each other's posts. That's always a good thing. Just living life on social media. It doesn't, maybe every, 8 or 10 we're posting about Juice Plus. We just want to make sure that we're living life, and that is a part of our life, right? And then checking Boxer, obviously, is a great, we want to be sure that we're doing that at least every day. And personal growth, leaders are readers. So what are we reading that it really is encouraging our hearts to move forward? And then there's notes. So you can do this front and back, and then on the back, you can take notes on certain things. And yeah, any questions about that? Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that. Oh, go ahead, Thomas.
It seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is. It is very straightforward, but it's nice to have something. I just keep those in front of my organizational workbook, and then I have the tabs of prospects, my memory jogger list, and then my customers, and then also my reps, and I have information that I keep in there. So yeah, any other thoughts or ideas of things that are working for you? Okay, any questions? What would be helpful for next week? I love talking about this. I feel like this is such an important topic, but I'm always open to hearing from you guys. I want to do what's going to be most helpful. So if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear.
I would love for us to talk more about customer care. I know Wendy and I talked about this earlier, so I don't know if you're going to hit that on a team call, but maybe some specific ideas of just within that first 4-month window when you have a new customer, what types of things people are sending.
Okay, that's great.
Would be helpful.
Yes, thank you. We are going to talk about it on the team call Monday night. Holly's going to do a training, but we can kind of go from there because there's only so much time on the call to cover quite a bit. So I think that would be a good kind of launching pad if we kind of revisit that then on Thursday. Gabby, did you have something that you think would be good?
No, not I guess not at this time. I think that the things maybe I'm having most issue with is how often to follow up without feeling pushy, and so I'm struggling a little bit with that. And then just posting on social media. I mean, I think it's so important. I've been trying to do more, and I know what's useful for me is posting videos about me just talking. I've been getting a lot of really good responses from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that just the following up without feeling pushy, and that's I think what I struggle with a little bit.
Okay. Well, why don't we open up with that, and then we'll talk about, as they become customers, what does it look like to move into good customer care? Would that be good?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Awesome. You guys, thank you so much for getting on today. So good. Glad you were on, Meryl. Good to see you.
Yay, welcome, Meryl. Glad to see you.
I think she's frozen.
Oh, bummer.
I know the feeling of that.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yes, I have. We got our internet speed fixed, so we're good. We haven't had any issues, so fortunately.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, there she is.
Enjoy your day, you guys, and we'll stay connected.
You too. Be safe.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.